welcome to a brand new episode of T Watches a Scary Movie. My name is T, and of course, we are talking scary movies. I appreciate you tuning in for another brand new edition of the show. Remember, new episodes go up every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can catch the video version on our YouTube channel and the audio-only version on all your favorite podcasting platforms. The best way to get linked to all of those is by going through my link tree, which is linktr.ee/T Scary Movie. If you go to my link tree, not only will it link you to the YouTube page, to the podcast pages so you can find the audio-only versions of this show, but you also get linked to things like my letterbox, so you can check out my written reviews, as well as my best of list. You get linked to my TikToks, where I'm uploading videos all the time as well, and things like my Twitter, so you can stay on top of my horror opinions. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, whether you're here on Linktree or you're on one of those other platforms. Just stay up to date with everything that I am talking. And I am starting a new contest that's going to run for the remainder of this month. Somebody was awesome enough to gift me the horror edition of Trivial Pursuit for Christmas this past month, and therefore I figured, what better way to test your horror knowledge, just like I'm always trying to test mine, and get a chance to win some awesome prizes. So here's what we are going to do. Just because I imagine it's either going to be out in the next week or two, I'm going to give away a free digital copy of Eli Roth's new film, Thanksgiving, one of the top 10 horror films I saw last year. I'm going to give away a digital copy of that at the end of the month, and the way you qualify for it is by answering these questions in the comment sections. I'm going to ask two questions a show, one at the beginning, one at the end. All you got to do, put the answer in the comment section. If you get it right, that's going to earn you a point. You can only answer one time there, and I'm going to put down whoever answers first, they get that point. So be the first one to answer there on it. You get a chance to get a point here. And you want to keep answering because you never know who's going to get something wrong here. But whoever has the most points, you're going to get a free digital copy of Thanksgiving at the end of the month. And if that movie is not out yet, I'll have a nice consolation prize for you as well too. So question one, remember there's going to be two questions here on the show. Question number one for all of you. In Final Destination 2, how does death pursue the characters? Is it the order that they escape death, or is it the reversed order that they escape death? If you haven't seen the Final Destination movies, this franchise is fantastic. It's about a group of characters in each film that escape some kind of extraordinary, tragic accident that's going on, whether that's on land, whether that's in air, and eventually by sea, whatever the case is. And the movie goes over how each of these characters are slowly and typically painfully killed by death seeking to right its mishap by letting these people escape. Now, Final Destination 2, that's memorable because that's the one that has the logs on the back of the truck and that everybody thinks of now whenever they're driving on the highway. So the question again for you is, in Final Destination 2, did death pursue its victims in the order that they escape death, or in reverse order? So let me know the answer to that in the comment section. If you are the first one to get that right, you're going to earn yourself 1 point. I'll have the second and last question for this week's edition of the show at the end of the episode. So I wanted to touch upon some films that might not have hit your radar last year, because top 10 lists are out for 2023 in horror, and a lot of the same usual suspects are gonna be on those lists. So for example, I'm sure if you've been checking it out, all of you have been seeing the usual suspects like Scream 6, like The Blackening, like Infinity Pool, like Talk to Me. Those four films have been on the majority of top 10 horror lists that I have seen here in the last few weeks here for sure. And again, we'll get to my top 10 later this month. I didn't want to really hit on this in this particular episode, but I did want to touch upon a few films that I feel might have gotten overlooked with a lot of really good horror films coming out in 2023. Now, all three of these films are movies that I did review, so you can go back and catch those reviews if you go back and check out the videos of the show. I'll put the links here above for you to check out as well too. But I want to start by highlighting a film called Play Dead. Now, Play Dead, which was directed by Patrick Lussier, who you might know as somebody who's been involved in quite a large number of fantastic horror films over the year that plenty of us have had a chance to see. We are talking the Scream series, we're talking the Halloween series, Terminator, Red Eye, Wes Craven's New Nightmare, Dracula 2000, My Bloody Valentine 3D. There's so many great films on this list, but Play Dead tells the story of a young woman who is forced to break into a county morgue as a way to clear her brother's name for a robbery that he was involved in, but finds herself at the mercy of the mortician there, who is a little bit more evil than what he lets on. Now, it's a very different role for Jerry O'Connell, who, if you're like me, you know the guy from Scream 2, from Sliders, from Piranha 3D. It's not his first time playing a bad guy. He's played bad guys before, but I do believe this is the first time that he's played a bad guy that is this imposing, that is this menacing, that's somebody that is actually a threat. And it's not an insult to Jerry. I think Jerry's a great guy, but Jerry's known for playing like these goofballs. He's known for playing these well-likable characters who you just love to laugh at or laugh with. And his mortician character here in Play Dead is anything but. Now, when we had some great performances last year between a number of villains. I'm talking Alyssa Sutherland in Evil Dead Rise. I'm talking Cassandra Nod in Influencer. I said it in my review, but I'll say it again. I think Jerry O'Connell should be added to that conversation as well, as his character in Play Dead was something very different for him, and he absolutely understood the assignment and ran with it perfectly. So you can check that out. Play Dead is available to watch for free right now on Tubi and on Prime Video. Go and check it out. While it is light on scares, it is not light on the gore. And again, if you love some Jerry OC, that's the one you definitely want to go and check out. Another one, this is one that a lot more of you had a chance to go and see for yourselves as well, Cobweb. If this is not one you got a chance to check out, starring Lizzie Kaplan and Anthony Starr, as well as Woody Norman, who we got to see in The Last Voyage of the Demeter as well too. It tells the story of 8-year-old Peter, who is plagued from voices and noises from inside of his home and trying to find out whether there might be a monster inside of his actual walls, or whether or not the monster happens to be the parents who are trying to convince him that everything is all in his head. Now, when I'm just talking about fantastic villain performances in 2023, I would be remiss to miss Lizzie Kaplan and Anthony Starr here. You know Anthony Starr from The Boys, and he brings that presence with him here as the father in Cobweb. You're just waiting for something to break with this guy and for him to freak out, and that tension is kept throughout the entire film. And Lizzie Kaplan, who typically is playing really good characters, whether they're a smart ass or not, she's usually playing on the right side of things. It's so refreshing to see her play a character who has these sinister undertones with them. It really makes her that much more captivating to watch. Monster design in this one could have been a little bit better, but they do a great job of keeping the tension throughout this entire film. Definitely one to watch around the Halloween season, but you can catch it for free right now on Hulu. And then finally, a film I actually just got a chance to talk about recently, Pet Semetary Bloodlines. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I am not a big fan of the Pet Semetary franchise. Whether it's the original film or whether it's the remake, those films just don't resonate with me. But I really enjoyed Pet Semetary 2. Something about the fact of we don't have to go through the rigmarole of if you get brought back Could you be good? No, it's very, very plain and clear. This is a bad thing. Somebody resurrects you in the pet cemetery. That's bad for them, and that's bad for the entire film at that point. And Pet Sematary 2 kind of reveled in that and committed to it, and that's what Bloodlines does as well. We skip the idea that these people are coming back for any kind of good, and instead we know sometimes dead is better. I thought this was honestly the most captivating entry in the Pet Sematary franchise, and honestly, if they wanted to continue these direct-to-video sequels or prequels in this, I might find them more interesting than the actual films are. Either way, you can check it out for yourself on Paramount Plus, but I want y'all to tell me in the comment section, what are some of those big ones that you enjoyed from 2023 that I might not have gotten a chance to check out? I'll tell you about my top 10 later on this month, in the month of January, but let me know in the comment section some of the great horror films you got a chance to see last year so I can make sure that I'm adding them to my list. And before I leave you tonight, your second question, a chance to earn a point to get a chance to win a digital copy of Thanksgiving. Which of these actors was not in the 1976 version of Carrie? John Travolta, Sissy Spacek, Amy Irving, or Julianne Moore? Which one of them was not in the 1976 version of Carrie? Let me know in the comments. If you're the first one to get that right, that's another point. But folks, that's going to do it for me tonight. I appreciate you tuning in. Make sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and I'll be back to talk more horror movies in the future. My name is T. We're talking scary movies. Stay scared. Hey everybody, looking for a great way to stay up to date on horror news as well as read the best of articles on anything scary out in the world right now? Then you need to head over to the Fangoria shop and get yourself a subscription. If you go to shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW, you can use my own personalized 20% discount to save 20% off on Fangoria magazine subscriptions, as well as 20% off any other items in their fantastic shop. This is a great deal. If you've ever been wanting to get yourself a subscription, now is the time to do so. Head to shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW.